Well, it's time now to know what's on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers. And joining me is Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst Sheson Okwade and in-house analyst Obani Akinwale. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Always looking forward to it.
Of course.
Anyway, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the blueprint. Hashtag Occupy Lekki Toll Gate will crush any violent protest. Federal government. You find that story on the front page of the blueprint. And now we'll move to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Jakonde dies at 91 for burial today. You find that story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's move now to the Vanguard. Hashtag EndSARS. Federal government, police, Lagos State government warn against fresh protest. Warns security agents ready for any eventuality. Don't cause trouble. Lagos State government warns protesters. No protest will hold at Lekki tomorrow, Lagos CP vows. No going back, organizers declare. Reconsider on protest, LCC begs protesters. Why we are yet to unfreeze hashtag EndSARS campaigners' bank accounts, Malami. That story on the front page of the Vanguard. And still talking about the hashtag EndSARS protest and the planned protest at the Lekki Toll Gate tomorrow, on the front page of the Punch, federal government, Lagos police talk tough as organizers vow protests will hold. We won't allow Lekki Toll Gate reopening its blood money. Organizers will not allow state to be pushed to carnage edge again, says Lagos. You find a story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. To the Guardian now, Wole Soyinka decries cattle imperialism, confirms attack, berates Ogun police for lying over herdsmen invasion. Tom writes Buhari says demand for justice, not anti-Fulani. Requests compensation for victims, says Nigerians should bear arms for self-defense. You find a story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. To the Daily Sun now, anxiety, tension over hashtag Occupy Lekki Toll Gate protest in Lagos will not tolerate any protest. Federal government, Lagos CP warns protesters, insists protest planned by subversive elements. That story on the front page of the Daily Sun. And on the front page of the Daily Trust, Lateef Kayode Jakonde, 1929 to 2021. You find that story on the front page of the Daily Trust. Well, another story, it's Ganduje to federal government ban foreign herders now. Herdsmen bear arms to protect themselves. Bauchi Governor Buhari not in charge. Soyinka leave southwest of face OPC. Gani Adams, we are ready for registration. Mieti Allah. To the News Direct, federal government, Lagos prohibits hashtag Occupy Lekki Toll Gate protest. Organizers adamant. And on the front page of the Daily Times, now ex-minister, erstwhile Daily Times editor, statesman Momo buried. And finally, on the front page of the Business Day, tales of living in a congested mega city. That story on the front page of the Business Day. Gentlemen, let's look at the story that is almost on all of the front pages of the papers this morning, talking about the hashtag Occupy Lekki Toll Gate protest that is meant to hold tomorrow. And you know that when the Occupy Lekki Toll Gate came, there's another protesters that came up saying, defend Lagos. And this has been generating a lot of reaction. And the federal government has come out, and as one of the papers said it, I think the Punch, saying the federal government, Lagos police talk tough as organizers vow protests will hold. But like the government said, it recognizes the fact that Nigerians have a right to protest. But then when if it is going to generate or degenerate to somewhat what we saw at the hashtag EndSARS protest, that it is not going to allow that because of what we saw happen, the aftermath of the hashtag EndSARS protest, which a lot of persons and even TVC is still reeling from. Let's get your reaction, gentlemen. I'll begin with you, Obani Akinwale. This protest, do you think this is the right time? Because you would recall one of the lawyers on the panel, Ebon Adegorua, says that they should hold off for now because the panel is still sitting.
Just like you said in your intro, that the federal government and the state government said that, I always say this, that the liberty to roll your fist stops at your neighbor's nose. The moment I'm doing like this and I'm punching my neighbor's nose, it's no longer my freedom. I'm already incursion to another person's freedom. So the question is this. Blood were allegedly shed, according to the NSAS campaigners at Lekki Toll Gate, right? Why didn't we close down the toll gate totally? Impassable for vehicles or for any activity.
But that's infringing on the rights of those who are supposed to move there.
So, again, the question I want to ask is this. I don't want to sound popular today. The guys that are working with Lekki Concession Company, as any of the NSAS campaigners, find a way they have been surviving the last 3 or 4 months? That's another question.
That's another
question. Now, is it Lekki Concession Company that kill people at the toll gate? Or Nigerian Army has allegedly claimed, or Nigerian police. Right. So why are we not occupying Nigerian Army barracks, Nigerian police barracks, or even go to governor's office and say you are the chief security officer? So why
perhaps
ground,
they feel that the
why ground another man's business?
LCC, or that's the Lekki Toll Gate, is complicit, so to speak, because you would recall, that they said certain cameras were removed and all of that. So these are the issues, perhaps.
You know how they shoot themselves in the leg. Respected son, Ebade Goruwa, was part of people that protested tolling of Lekki during Fashola regime with some celebrities. He came up again and he said they have a dissenting judgment as regards what the panel view about reopening Lekki concession. I want to ask him, we are all mourning and we know no life is worth just killing on the slaughter of anything. As Ebade Goruwa closed down his firm since October till now.
Right.
The people that have lost their job, let me say, for example, about 550 staff of TVC that are affected, as any of NSAS campaigners find out how they are surviving, the number of BRT drivers that have been rendered jobless, as any of the NSAS campaigners go to the house to see how they are faring, those that were allegedly killed, as any NSAS family has gone to see how their families are faring. So when we say blood money, are the NSAS promoters not also feeding on blood money? Because these campaigners are funded by international donors. You remember Amnesty International. You remember people doing this and what have you. Are we not also doing the same thing we are alleging that others are doing? Are they not technically feeding on other people's blood, people that are mourning their dead and closing down the business?
Let me move to Sheson now. Sheson, do they not have a right to express their grievances, these people, if they feel that justice has not been seen to be done by reopening the Lekki toll?
They have the right. But the issue we have at stake now is that there are 2 parties challenging one another. We know there is Occupy Toll Gate and Defend Lagos. So definitely there's going to be confrontation from all indication. And that's where I have the problem. If it is just a movement that want to say this...
The government is supposed to provide security to police to ensure that it doesn't degenerate. That is what it's supposed to be.
Of course, but you know that we don't have sufficient manpower to manage that. And pardon me, the way and manner our policemen manage issues in the past things gives room that if this should happen, definitely what we are trying to avoid, which is death that happened during the EndSARS, more will definitely happen. You and I heard what happened ordinarily at Obalinde yesterday. People died. We've seen filtration of ammunitions among the so-called people. So if it is just like we had the other time that is just ordinary EndSARS, one group, okay, we can say police will provide, you know, security and make sure that just do it in a peaceful manner. But now we are having confrontation. And all I feel we need to do is that for now, whether we want to defend Lagos or occupy the place, government should come out with a position and let them say, okay, we are stalling this. Because Obani said the people that are actually working in LCC, are they faring? let government intervene in that particular position and take care of them.
Right.
Because what we need now is peace.
Peace, of course.
Everybody will not be able, see, the tension will not allow anybody to go out tomorrow. Because you're only talking of Lekki Toll Gate. Somebody can hijack it and do something at Mushi. They can do something at K2. We are only concentrating in that aspect because those people have their network. Now that is confrontational, government should come out with a position because it's the Occupy Lagos that started before the Defend Lagos people came up. So let them come with it and say, okay, guys, part of your yearning is that, please, we will not open the toll gate for now. At least until we have certain things so that we can move on. We need peace and we don't want any bloodshed again, even in this state.
Absolutely. We need peace in the country, which is what everybody is talking about. And perhaps that is why the government has been coming out to say, you know what, let's just hold off on this for now and see what happens at the end of the day. But what people want to see is that justice is done and seen to be done. But then let's quickly move on now to the story on the front page of The Guardian, talking about Wole Soyinka decrying cattle imperialism, confirmed attack and all of that. And we see that yesterday the 36 state governors came up to say that they are now agreeing with ranching and, you know, the enforcement of the National Livestock Reformation Plan. I wonder if you see that addressing all of these issues, because they believe that it will address these issues of perhaps armed headers attacking people, banditry, kidnapping, and the things, this issue of situation of insecurity that we have found, Obani.
Yeah, for me, it's just a jamboree of 36 colleagues trying to wine and dine, because there is no law setting up Nigerian Governors Forum. It's just a movement of 36 of us. And again, you recall same yesterday, the governor of Bauchi has come out to tell us that the rest of us that are saying the people that are carrying AK-47 are criminals. He said no, they are protecting themselves against castle rustlers. Yet there is a law in the country that proliferates small and light arms. But a governor is saying people need to protect rustlers with AK-47. Another governor is saying ban foreign nomadism. Another governor is saying I don't have land to give. So you will find out the governor of Bauchi is criticizing governor of Ondo and governor of Benue. And governor of Ekiti has said, what is ranching? Where is the government? If Ondo State government is saying they are flushing everybody out of government reserve area, are you going to go and take over my grandfather's land to ranch people? So what we have is that this is a federation. And it is high time everybody runs like a federated unit. Each state will determine works for them. Let me take, for example, Isba in Kano forbids taking of alcohol. Right. And there is no law that stops people in Lagos from taking alcohol. But don't forget, the tax taken from alcohol and other beverages are shared across the board. So if people in Taraba, people in Kano are willing to ranch, congratulations to all of us. As much as people in Lagos can take beer and people in Kano cannot take beer, and there is a police that arrests people for taking beer in the open in Kano, we should also be able to allow people in their own area to determine how they want to be governed. So a governor in Bauchi cannot speak for a governor in Lagos. After all, you have Sharia in Zamfara. Sharia is not in your state. So how do you now legislate and say, we 36, after we have won and we are dying, what we decided is that go and do it? How does it work? The moment each state do not decide what works for them, what is the landmass of states like Borno State? What is the landmark of state like Lagos? So when you say you want to ranch, which area or land in Lagos do you want to ranch people? When we are saying agriculture, if in Ireland, for example, there are areas that are strictly for cattle ranching, cattle grazing, how to milk. I remember the former Minister for Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, stated all these things. Now you are now saying 36 Jamboree people sitting down. What has Governor Forum done for this country? What have they done in unity? Are all state government paying union with? So whatever comes from that forum is just an organization of few guys after they have maybe shared revenue and people need to die and whine. Oh, right. That's what I see.
That's what you see. That's what he is seeing. But Shason, I don't know if that is what you see as well. Yeah. They're coming together to say perhaps let's adopt ranching.
Yeah, well, coming together to adopt that, even from the statement from individual of them say they are not in unity. It was when I read the headlines this morning talking about Bauchi governor saying people carrying ammunition are using that to defend themselves. And I asked myself, that is the CSO of a state. And you are saying when you know there is a law that is against this, you know, And you are saying that openly. And I ask myself, if we are in a sane environment, by now that governor should be out of his state. Because it is obvious these are the people masterminding. I'm on a public TV. For
Well,
him
we
to
have
have
to be
said
careful
that,
with our
no.
statements.
For a governor to have said that people who carries ammunition are using that to defend themselves. It's in the papers. It's not just saying it.
It's
in the-
That means
yes.
it's inciting people to tell us that this thing that we are doing, we are behind the people carrying the ammunition.
that's it.
It's just
Really?
it. That's
Yeah.
what it implies. And we are not coming together to say that we've agreed on ranching. There's even disunity among them. So who is agreeing that they will be ranching? So that means there are certain set of. Remember this deputy governor, is it with CBN, that came out to say some of the governors
Obadiah.
are sponsor
Obadiah, yeah.
are the sponsor
Last year,
of Boko Haram
yeah.
and the banditry.
Allegations.
It's an
it was
allegation,
picked
but
by
it's
DSS.
on the paper. And we are this is what we are hearing this
We
morning.
don't have facts to back that up.
Let him come up with his position to say what is being stated in the
It's
news.
wrong.
It's wrong. If not, if you don't have that within 24 hours, that means we are substantiating whatever they have said. For a governor to be saying that, are we going to tolerate that in Lagos? For somebody to carry any ammunition? Even the security outfits that are put together to protect human beings, the law forbids them to carry ammunition. Not to now talk of herdsmen. So if federal government is serious about this, and they actually value the life, this governor, let's forget whether it's allegation or not, this was said, the governor by now should be impeached. It's not to tell us that they are part of the people that have been doing this.
I would still insist that we have to be careful with statements we make, talking about whichever the statements we make, basically, because this is national TV and we know a lot of persons
We understand
Right.
that. We understand that. But
Indeed.
our
But
governors
we must
too should be
take-
very sensitive of what they give out to the populace.
Because now,
This statement is very inciting.
Right.
That means in Lagos too we can start
Carry
carrying
arms.
ammunition.
right, now back to the issue on the ground.
Okay.
The oneness
Okay.
of the governors, one would say, is very key.
There
If
is
we
no
say
oneness.
There is no oneness with this
unity-
they are saying.
The unity of the governors is important if we say we need to address
No.
issues of
Let
insecurity in the
each
country.
governor go and do
It
their
is not,
own.
because the unity of the government has
Because
not
what
put,
I do will affect your state,
no,
don't you think
it
so?
will not. Because you ban alcohol in Kano does not affect the revenue of Lagos State.
Yes.
Right.
Because you ban alcohol in Kano do not reduce the tax, the
But
VAT you get on
insecurity
beverages.
is what affects all of us.
Now you remember when a former governor of Lagos State come up with Lagos State Security Neighborhood, whatever, LNC Trust Fund. Now, Lagos can determine how the Lagos should be policed. So if Kano decided to say, Bauchi decided that everybody in Bauchi can carry gun as a protection, that doesn't stop Lagos from saying, if you want to get to our border from Bega, you are not allowed to carry even stick. They don't need to unite, because the problem we've always have is that our culture, our tradition, our way, our belief is different. Yes, we are in the same country, but what is obtainable to an Ijebu man is not obtainable from Ikpetumodu. So what you find out is that our system of policing, our value system, our tradition, what we believe, what we value, our right differs. So they don't need to agree. For example, Kano said federal government should ban nomadism. That foreigners that are coming in should be banned. Governor of Benue said, I don't have land for ranching in my state. Governor Borno says the whole of Sambisa forest is available for ranching. So, for example, can we process oil in Ibadan? No. The only oil place we have in Nigeria is the Niger Delta. So if the northern part of the country, which has vast land, is going to be our ranching site, let us go there. Thank God Baba Buhari is doing rail from Lagos to Maradi in Niger Republic. We can use the train to carry cow and bring them to Lagos, bring them to the west. After all, every day, trailer is coming to Kara Market in Lagos to drop cow. So which means is that even with what they are doing in the southwest here, the cows are not even sufficient to sustain us. So tomato will still come from the north. Why are we not saying we are taking all the land for tomato farmers in the whole of southwest? Why will Lagos go to Kebbi to go and partner on rice? Because he knows that they have the facility, they have the land, they have the human resources to get it done. So let's do partnership.
We should do a partnership.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what we can do is that, I want to go into cattle ranching like Baba Bafajo did in Taraba. He has his farm in Taraba and the man is enjoying himself. Look at Kwamwan. He has his farm in Ijebuan. So we don't need to agree as governors. If you are interested in cattle business,
Let's
put your
work
money in
together.
Let's
cattle
work
business.
together.
Osun is interested in gold business, for example. They are investing in their gold business. Zamfara is doing their own gold exploration. That is their business. So in you now saying, what do they want to even, how many land do they have in Ekiti to say they want to form cattle ranch? What is the landmass of Ekiti? The total landmass of the entire southeast is not up to both Niger and Borno states. So how do you create land from those areas when even the population there are not enough to, and you have land in those areas that are not using? First, stop nomadism. Two, government needs to stick to the law. Light terms are proliferated in this country, but yet some set of people like Animal Farm, Jojo sell, all animals are equal, but some are more equal. Some are more equal to carry light terms, but if a OPC man in my street carry gun, police will chase him that he doesn't have license. But that nomadic farmer from Niger or from Nigeria or from Mali can go around protecting his cattle from rustlers with AK-47 that even our Nigerian police do not have. So that is the problem. So outlaw it in your state. Make sure that anybody that carry gun in your state is criminalized.
Right.
Yes.
So if you don't do all these jamboree of governor, what have they done as a governor? You have your own, you have your own state assembly, you have your own rules.
Asking that question, what have they done? But then your final word on this issue, because we need to quickly wrap up.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is, we have actually been asking for community and state policing. Let each state go back to the drawing board. How do we strategize to protect? Because what we know is that the governor is the CSO, is the chief security officer of the state. Strategize. Lagos State did it. They look for a way to have the NSIT funds to make sure that they generate funds, get vehicles for the police, and do all those things. So government should go back to the drawing board and empower state policing, community policing, so that we can strategize in getting to the grassroots and protect the people. Because the fundamental reason of governance is security. Once there is peace, definitely there will be prosperity.
Right. Gentlemen, Obani, I know you are itching to say something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Please, you just have few minutes.
Okay.
Few minutes.
What I would say is that we should all stop putting the box at the decks of Mr. Buhari. All the governors of the federation collect allocation from the federal government every month. They all have what they call security votes. So if the security votes are not budget fund and they are not, you don't need to explain. Let each state governor be responsible for their security. Enough of asking Nigerian army to come to Lekki, asking Nigerian immigration to come to our support. You know it's so funny that during our elections, you will see civil defense, you will see road safety, helping us to man our polling booths. It is an eyesore at this modern day. Let each state governor, each local government chairman collect allocation from the federation every month. Let everybody secure, even the councillor for each ward, collect allowances. Let them start from that level, secure your ward, secure your local government, secure your state. And then if the Mr. Buhari is now able to protect the territorial integrity of this nation, hold him responsible. But for me, Nigerian Governors Forum as a jamboree of friends has failed in ensuring that each state governor were able to, even with the Amotekun, with the Hisbah and what have you, they are still insufficient to protect their state. Every day they still run back to Mr. President, but when they are stealing money, when they are doing projects,
now
they don't remember Mr. President stayed there.
We have to be careful with our choice of words.
Enough of all these jamborees of meeting and just wasting our resources on air flight and what have you.
Thank you so much, Cheshire Okwadi. Thank you so much
It was
for
a pleasure
your
to be here.
contribution in the newspaper review.